to get on screen here.
Sorry, you want me to start over?
That's right. We're on.
Okay.
Mayor Knauss.
Here.
Mr. Donahue.
Here.
Ms. Greenfield.
Here.
Mr. Hammond.
Here.
Mr. Day is absent. Mr. Schmidt.
Here.
Ms. Zamara.
Here.
Notice of this meeting was provided to the Bernardsville News, the Courier News, and the Star Ledger, filed with the municipal clerk, and posted on the municipal bulletin board on December 11th, 2018. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have no presentations tonight, so we will move to the open session. So if anyone from the public would like to make a comment, please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Come up, introduce yourself with your name and address. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? All right, we will close the public session. Items of business, we have ordinance here. We're continuing the public hearing from October 15th on ordinance 2019-1807, an ordinance authorizing installation of a speed hump on Wesley Avenue and supplementing and amending Chapter 7 of the Borough Code entitled Traffic. And why did we bring this back?
We still have to insert the location.
No, but last time, didn't we discuss, decide to do the signs, the flashing signs?
We were going to wait
Second
until
one?
after a trial of the sign and then get
okay.
information from the Chief Valentine about the effectiveness of the sign.
Okay, you can just carry it till the
I would carry it into the
end of the year.
We can't carry it till past December, right?
Can't carry it past
Right.
December, so.
So
carry it till
make
last
the
meeting.
vote December 9th then.
December 19th, let's put it on December 19th,
Right.
and by then, hopefully, we'll have enough information and,
December 9th,
December 9th or
9th.
19th?
right?
wait, we changed the date.
Oh, we do
no,
have a
the-
meeting on the 9th and the 19th.
Everyone-
Oh, we have a
gonna be
19th
here on
meeting
the
also?
9th.
Yes.
Oh,
We changed the 23rd to the
But
19th.
everyone's not gonna be
Well,
here on the
make it the
19th.
9th in case there has to, we should have the November data by December 9th, so that would be.
We should carry it till the 9th, because if we do decide to adopt this, we'll have to insert the location at that point.
Oh, and then
They
it's an
adopt it.
amendment, right, yes, so
all right,
let's do
so
the
the
9th. So we'll move it to the 9th. Do we need a motion to do that?
Yeah, it's the same motion Anthony has in the agenda, just change the date to December 9th.
okay.
Okay,
I'll move to amend ordinance 2019-1807, continue public hearing to.
Well, it's not to amend.
Hmm?
It's not to amend, it's just to continue.
Okay,
Sorry.
I move to make it December 9th. Let's
I'll
cut to the
second.
chase.
okay, roll call.
Mr. Donahue.
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield.
Yes.
Mr. Hammond.
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt.
Yes.
Ms. Zamara.
Yes.
Okay, now we will have a public hearing on ordinance 2019-1823, creating an information technology / communications committee and supplementing and amending Chapter 2 of the Borough Code entitled Administration. Anyone from the public wish to be heard on this? Okay, I will close the public hearing. Discussion from the council.
I think that we should postpone this because we have 2 IT people who will be joining the council, and I think it would make sense to postpone this to get their input before we pass it. So I would propose that we wait until they're sworn in.
Well, I'll argue that we've gotten input from our IT person in-house, and certainly those, one or both of those IT people joining the council can be on that committee and offer input there, but this would then give the mayor the opportunity to make appointments that would start with reorganization in January.
I frankly don't know that we need a committee for this. After giving some thought, I was kind of ambivalent, but I just feel like it's, the website, yeah, it should be more navigable and better updated, but I just don't think we need a committee to address this.
Were we changing our website? I thought we were getting.
We're supposed to. I haven't heard back from Alpha Dog.
Alpha Dog.
He sent me a draft of what the new one would look like, and I gave him some suggestions, and then I didn't hear back from him again, so I need to call him again. I don't know what his holdup is.
So I mean,
But
in that.
it's a nicer look, cleaner look, but yeah.
I think communications is more than just the website. So I see a need for this. That's why I brought it up in the first place. Obviously, I'm supportive of it.
I don't have a
I
problem
think
with
we've
the
got an
ordinance.
outline from Chris D'Amato about what he'd like to see happen with it, what would help him. I think we should move forward with this.
I mean, I especially like it to have the communication, as Jeff said, because, you know, right now we're pretty dependent on the bubble to disseminate leaf collection, you know, so many things. And, you know, the website is good, but it needs to be better. And I think a committee could help with that. Like, it shouldn't fall on just the mayor to have to go back and forth to Alpha Dog or our IT. I don't know. I just think the communication definitely could be better. And if this would help it. You
I'm
know.
not sure how much, speaking of committees, how much they can actually input, because we don't want citizens posting things on behalf of the borough, or, you know, I'm not sure what they'd actually do, because right now I guess it's Chris, is it Chris that posts everything now?
Chris D'Amato.
Chris posts stuff. I sometimes send like agendas and stuff, so it's kind of.
Right, but somebody has to approve it before it goes up, so there's a process of, I mean, Chris just can't throw up anything he feels like it, or,
Yeah, well, things. The council does approve certain things, with stuff like I'm talking about, like routine stuff like the agendas and things like that. I put on that
okay.
it wouldn't have to be approved, you know, thing like that.
And
I think-
Anthony puts my Board of Health stuff on.
Yeah, so just flyers and things. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and again, I don't want to focus solely on the website. That really does need help. But I think there are lots of other forms that we could be exploring. We don't explore or use closed circuit TV, for example, or community-based TV. We don't have any kind of email presence. There's things that other communities are doing. We don't even have to reinvent the wheel. We can, poach off of what other people have done. I just think we need to get into the 21st century, and this would help because it's been an orphan, and the Public Works Committee has been focused, rightfully so, on things like roads and sewers and infrastructure. This has been neglected over the last year, and it just needs its own space.
I don't have a problem with the ordinance. I just would like to postpone it until two people who that's their business are on the board, and they can add their
They
points
could
of
add
view
it during,
to it. That's
they
my
can add it
own-
right now. They can add it. It's public comment. This isn't the first time this has come up.
I mean, I'd support postponing it. I'm still not convinced we actually need it, but I stand, I can be educated or to, be brought around.
I mean, looking at what the roles are, like C says, monitor and recommend adoption of new technologies that will enhance borough services and communication between the governing body and borough residents. And part of that, I think we're gonna have on the website, I've asked for a subscription button so that we can get email, so that we have a way to actually, directly communicate with people. So that would, I don't know how many different technologies, and then the police have their, what do they call that?
Nixel.
No, the 911 thing,
The reverse
Reverse
911.
Yeah.
Emergency
but they
thing.
send out those, but you sign up and put in all your
Right.
all your
Text message.
emergency information, so they've already got that. I don't know, I'm just concerned that, we already have so many committees. I'm not absolutely sure we need this right now.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean,
It's your vote,
Chris
so
felt
you guys
that it would
decide.
be helpful to him. So I'll tell you what. I think it's time to everybody declare what they're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and move this.
Okay,
I move to pass ordinance 2019-1823 on final reading, adopt as published, creating an information technology communications committee and supplementing and amending chapter 2 of the Borough Code entitled Administration.
I'll second.
okay, moved and seconded, roll call, please.
Ms. Zamara,
Yes.
Mr. Schmidt,
No.
Mr. Hammond,
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield,
No,
Mr. Donahue.
No.
That's what, 3-2?
3-2 no, so it does not go through.
Okay, now we have a public hearing on ordinance 2019-1824 prohibiting vaping in public places and supplementing and amending chapter 3 of the Borough Code entitled Police Regulations. Does anyone from the public wish to be heard on this? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Comments from the council, discussion? Nobody?
I'm kind of ambivalent about it. Much as one doesn't want to encourage, bad habits, and at what point do we, are we over-regulating things? I mean, somehow I think this could be materially different than smoking because no cigarette butts and it's less noxious, the smoke, the smell, I suppose. Playgrounds, athletic fields. I mean, someone's, watching a game and they walk, 20 feet away and use their vaping thing and come back. I don't know. We're creating, a crime wave when we don't have to.
Have we had input from the police chief on this?
I haven't asked anything.
Yeah, well, we got input from the police chief and the board of health when I first proposed the original vaping ordinance which passed. That was brought to our attention that I think through the public comment that it didn't cover, which I thought the state had, but apparently not.
Right.
Smoking in public places. So this was meant to fill that gap. But yeah, so the chief was supportive. I think, to John's point, in fact, yes, there are not a lot of cigarette butts, but there are vaping canisters. I've picked them up off the ground. I've seen them.
Really?
Yeah. The more important thing, though, I think is, you don't have the noxious smell, perhaps, of cigarette smoke, and you don't necessarily have the same problem of secondhand smoke, but you have the problem of it being visible to a population that we don't want to get the message that this is permissible.
I think you can't legislate everyone's life. It's just overreach. It's not necessary. It's not a problem. It's not proven to be a problem. So,
Well, I don't know where you're going there, whether it's not proven to be a problem.
a problem, secondhand vaping of somebody in an open baseball field.
That's
or
not the issue. I
something.
said that's not the problem. It's not secondhand. It's the use of vaping in public in areas in which minors are seen as being done. It's all a matter of being an example.
Yeah.
I mean, what if you're in your car in a parking lot and then a playground?
I don't know. Is that the same?
Who's going to enforce
No,
it?
I understand it. If you're in your own private vehicle, that's actually
Even if you're in a
close
public
space.
place,
Yeah.
that's okay. Okay.
If you have the car door open, though, it's not. Actually, it's a technicality.
Oh, interesting. Any other comments?
Well, I'll
All
move
right,
this
you
one
want to
too.
move it? Okay.
I think I'll move to pass ordinance 2019-1824 on final reading, adopt, published, prohibiting vaping in public places and supplementing and amending chapter 3 of the Borough Code entitled Police Regulations.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Donahue,
I'm going to say no.
Ms. Greenfield,
No.
Mr. Hammond,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
No.
Ms. Zamara.
Yes.
I'm glad Tom's not here because I'd have to decide all this. All right. Now we are, I guess, what is this?
Junk.
We're introducing this, yes? The junk.
Yeah, I can explain that if you like.
So, I think, did we talk about this last week? Yeah, I think we talked about it last week, about the
I
definition of
introduced the
junk.
concept that this is something we've talked about in the Housing Zoning Committee since actually going back to February. That we've had problems in court
Right.
With certain judges feeling that the definition of junk is too vague. So we've surveyed other municipality ordinances. Our zoning enforcement staff feels that the Bedminster ordinance and the language is best suited for us. And that's what we're moving forward to amend our current ordinance to include that language.
I have one question. I was reading the definition and I think there's one, or maybe it's just me. It says junk shall mean the unconcealed accumulation of waste, rubbish, or scrap, nor the outside store. Why is it, shouldn't it be or?
Should be orders.
I think that's a typo.
Sorry.
Because both places it says nor.
I cut and pasted that whole passage, it must have, I didn't catch it, sorry.
But it's or.
Yeah,
It should be
let me
or,
double check.
right? Okay.
I'm gonna find it.
Or the outside storage of used or secondhand appliances.
Give me one second.
It's just, I guess one man's junk is another person's treasure kind of thing. Is
Yeah.
that what had to be clarified? Is that?
I wasn't in the court, so I don't know, but
Yeah. It
Yeah.
must be.
But we did lose a case just because we didn't have a clear definition,
Yeah, I understand.
so. Okay, if we can just fix
Yes,
the
definitely
nor to or.
Yeah.
Okay. So for those of you in the audience, if you want to know what junk is, junk shall mean the unconcealed accumulation of waste, rubbish, or scrap, the outside storage of used or secondhand appliances such as refrigerators, stoves, hot water heaters, dishwashers, clothes washers, or dryers. Junkyard shall mean any space, whether inside or outside a building, used for the collection, storage, or abandonment of any waste or discarded material, or the dismantling, demolition, salvaging, resale, or abandonment of structures, automobiles, or other vehicles, equipment, appliances, and machinery or parts thereof, notwithstanding the foregoing. Up to 2 dismantled or inoperable motor vehicles may be stored on a lot for up to 60 days to allow for the repair, refurbishing, or dismantling of said vehicles, provided said vehicles are screened from the view of adjoining lots. Question on this, is there a time limit for how, like if you put your hot water heater outside waiting for the guy to pick it up and it's there for 3 days and somebody files a complaint,
That's actually elsewhere in the existing ordinance.
does it explain that? Okay.
Well, I mean, if it's that curbside
Only because I
waiting to
know
be picked
I
up,
had somebody complain about that once and it kind of,
Can I ask you whether inside or outside of the building? Outside again, obviously you don't want like, weeds going on, but if, would that theoretically put someone's inoperable project car, in violation? Because if you're working on a car, it could take years. It's a hobby, it's,
should be in the garage.
it is, but it says inside or outside of a building.
Well, if it's inside, how's anybody gonna know it's
It
there?
says as long as it's screened from the view of adjoining
Oh.
lots. So
From
if it's
60 days.
inside, it's screened.
Yeah, it's like a separate.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So hopefully this will help.
I guess they mean stuff that's like sitting in a carport that you can see.
That
Right.
would make
It's
sense.
technically
You know,
covered.
I got a car I'm working on, someone calling up the borough saying that the car's been there for 2 years now.
I don't think that would
No,
apply.
not in your garage. Okay, so,
So can I go ahead and move it?
yes, we want to introduce.
I mean, well, I'm 0 for 2, I'm gonna try for one more.
Okay.
So, if I get 1 for 3, I get in the Hall of Fame, I move the ordinance 2019-1825, an ordinance amending the commercial and residential property maintenance codes by adding definitions of junk and junkyard, and supplementing and amending chapter 11 of the Borough Code entitled Property Maintenance, to be introduced by title, passed on first reading, published according to law, and that a public hearing be scheduled for a meeting beginning at 7 p.m. Monday, November 25, 2019.
I'll second it, Jeff.
Roll call, yes?
I think it's a voice. On
It's a
introduction.
voice. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Look at that. Okay, good one. Resolutions 19-215 through 19-224. Any that you want to pull out or discuss?
I had a question, unfortunately the chief's not here, but I did have a question about the hazard mitigation plan, which is 19-223. I don't know whether
I think
anybody else can answer that.
that comes from Somerset County and I don't think we get to mess with it.
Well, except that there are responses, I'm just scrolling down here to pick it up. It was item number 5 and item number 21, if eventually I can
Bless
pick
you.
this up.
Thank you.
Which pertain directly to us. And I think these are like questions, or the framework comes from the county, but the responses come from us.
Is that a
What-
separate email? Didn't that come
Yeah,
in a
what
separate
page
email?
was it on?
It's not in the
I
packet,
thought it was in
think.
our packet.
Was
I know,
it?
what page was it on in the packet, the separate thing,
It's,
the questions part? Because I could
19, it's 19-223.
Well, okay, I remember from memory, so I can just go. So item number 5 talked about that we had assessed our infrastructure for sheltering, and that we would be able to take care of residents in the case of a natural disaster. And the response was, well, we're fine, we've done this and we're in good shape. But I had talked previously to the chief, going back, 6 months or so ago, that there was a problem, he perceives a potential problem in staffing shelters,
Yes.
with nurses particularly, and that there was a concern that in a prolonged disaster, that various hospitals might decant less sick patients to the shelters, keeping their sicker patients at the hospital, and then we wouldn't be able to accommodate that. So I thought that previous communication from him was a disconnect with our response on that, on this mitigation survey.
Who filled out the response, didn't he?
I don't know, that was one of my other questions is.
Well, this falls under OEM, or Office of Emergency Management, which is run by the chief. I do remember part of what Jeff was saying, this goes back a couple years ago, but it's news to me that hospitals would be sending us the less sick patients. That it was always a concern that during, and we had this with Sandy, when the high school gym and part of the library was being used, we had some volunteers, but after, you know, a week's time, we started to lose those volunteers. They were going back to work or had other things they had to do. So I think is that the concern you were mentioning, that we wouldn't have staff to help run them?
That was one of them. So again, it seemed to me that the response to the survey, a particular survey module, focused on the infrastructure. Do we have a physical space? Yes. Do we have a generator? Yes. But it was sort of silent about personnel.
Yeah, because it's based on volunteers. I don't think we have anything that's.
Well, I just wondered whether that was a complete answer or a complete concern, because my understanding is that where there was a gap identified by this hazard mitigation survey, we should address it. Which leads me to point number 21.
Okay, before we go to that, there was some discussion, which was met with a little bit of resistance, that in the event of volunteers not being able to fulfill the duties to create a safe shelter, that it would fall upon borough personnel. And that was a suggestion, and yeah.
Just the backup, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know that, Ralph, do you recall this at all?
Vaguely.
Okay. I don't know how far it went. I wasn't part of that survey portion of it, but it didn't go well. But I guess it's something that can be brought up again in future.
Well, is there a time frame within which we have to approve this or approve this resolution?
I have no idea.
I don't know, is there? Do we know if there's a time? I'm trying to think what
That's a
my
question for
email was.
That's a question for Kevin.
In other words, can we defer this to the next meeting when he can be here? Because the other question that I had was item 21, which talked about our resilience, I think was the word that was used. The community resilience after a severe storm. Now, obviously, we've experienced that with Sandy, and we've actually experienced that with some other severe storms. And the response in the last column on the right was that this would be a desirable thing, but we don't have it in our budget, so we're not going to do it. And I wanted to know what we
need a budget for resilience. I don't understand.
Well, it was a study, a resilience study. I'm trying to find the exact language here. If I could, I'm just scrolling down this 40-page document.
You're looking at just the Bernardsville one? Is that what you're looking at? The Bernardsville section? This is just for us, right?
It says BV 21, so I assumed that was Bernardsville.
Is it section 21 or? I'm looking at the different sections here. It's all, well, we're all section 9.4, so.
No, it wasn't BV 20. It was another. Maybe I had the number wrong. Anyhow, I'd like to know what that would cost. What's the cost? Because it seems to me that that's something desirable to do.
That I don't remember as part of the discussion. I do remember your point on number 5.
So we don't know if there's a time limit on when this has to be in?
I was looking at the email that the chief gave me with that sample resolution, and in that thread there was something from Joseph Allen from the county saying, as long as we get it before 12/31, you are good to go.
Okay, so then let's wait.
But here's a specific point, so we can address this to the chief. It's specific to Bernardsville. It's BV 21. The mitigation initiative is to enhance the community resilience to severe storms by joining the NOAA Storm Ready program. And the hazard to be mitigated was a severe storm. And the status details is listed as, quote, funding and resources are not available to participate in this program, end quote.
So that rings a bell. There was a membership fee to be part of the NOAA portion of it.
What is that fee? Because if
I don't think it was that much.
Because if this is something that is worth doing, you know, we've experienced these kind of storms. Mm-hmm. We've had periods where our resilience has been tested, you know?
I agree. I don't remember what the fee was. Now that you say it that way, I do remember that portion. This was discussed a while ago, more than
It's what
a
you don't
couple
read,
years
you
ago.
find printable, this
Well, I
stuff.
think this started in 2017, he said, was when they first
That
began
makes sense.
working on it, yeah.
Well, then, I guess we'll just wait for the chief.
So let's wait for, because he usually attends the second meeting anyway, but if we can get him the information, the questions to him, what was the other one?
5 and
Um,
5 and 21.
BB5 and BB21.
5 and 21. Okay.
Yeah, the one was, about,
The one's about the staff.
if we're
Yeah.
fi-
Staffing
actually
and the-
fined
yeah.
for meeting a
Right.
shelter,
For staffing.
yeah. So maybe pass those on to him ahead of time, and then he can address them at the next meeting, since we've got a month to do it, so that's good. All right, so let's pull that one off, that was
Can I ask-
223,
About the parking one too,
yeah, the decals.
the 219.
219.
So, I just wanna know if this is coming out of a committee review, or if we're the ones that are supposed to review this. And the only comment or question I have is comparing letter B, where it says parking kiosk spaces, Railroad Plaza Municipal Parking Lot, 25 cents every 15 minutes, or $1 an hour by credit card, right? So if you're parked there for 8 hours, you go to work, it's $8, maybe $10 if you count the 2 hours there and back, right? But a daily fee is $5 a day, so maybe we could make it a daily in the train station lot too, make it $5, because Common Station is $5, Morris Plains is $10.
That's the Mount Airy is the daily, right?
Well, to
It's
make
$5.
B be the same as E, I guess,
Convent's $5.
Yeah.
Sure about that?
daily $5.
Is it really?
So I have a lot of friends who drive to Common Station just to pay the $5, because they don't want to pay the $8 in our train station.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of, long way to go for $3. Unless you go into Midtown, I guess it makes more sense.
But I mean, if you're longer than 10 hours,
That's
and
probably
it
more
adds up.
driver, I think.
Like, there's no max, I don't think, right? If you can
Well, you
go
can't
over-
stay overnight.
I think it's 12 hours. That's what it used to be.
So you'd
12
be
hours.
paying $12, but in Common
Still cheaper
Station
than
or Morris
parking in
Plains,
the
you'd be
city.
paying $5. Anyway, that's just my.
But if they go
2
to Common
cents.
Station, then we have more parking for shoppers.
They're going
So
to,
there's that.
they're going to Common Station, it's Midtown Direct.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
what it
it's
is.
probably gotta be,
Yeah,
Well, if it's
$3.
Midtown Direct, then it's only $5, and I mean.
So that's a good deal for them.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying, if if we wanna be.
but it does, because a lot of
doing what
the
residents
stores on the
like.
other side use the kiosk parking for their stores. So if it's all full of commuters, because it's cheaper,
I know, that's why I'm
you
saying.
won't have spots for the stores.
Well, that's something I think we have to
That's a good
revisit
point.
generally. I don't think the ROI on the parking meters
Yes,
panning
it's-
out like we thought it would.
No, it's not, so.
So it's
that
something we
would only
discussed in
make it
finance,
worse.
it's sort of something we're thinking about, and
Okay.
So if you wanna park at Mount Airy for $5, you can't, right?
For
Mount
a
Airy
day,
is $5 for the day.
for a day, just one day, it would be $5 just to park in that lot for one day.
And how do they pay the $5?
They would come through the clerk's office, and that's more of like a paper, a decal just for one day, and just for that effective that day, and that's it for $5. We really don't get that much.
No.
A
People
few
do
years
that,
ago,
yeah.
we had maybe a few, but it hasn't come up. That's just been kind of carried through over the years. So.
Yeah, I know a lot of the merchants are real happy over that $10 fee for Mount Airy. So I think that was a good pro-business decision to do that.
All right, let's move the resolution.
Okay, we ready?
Yep, good.
So, Chris, why don't you move them?
All right, move resolutions 19-215 through 19-222 and, I'm sorry, 24. Taking out 223 until we can meet with the chief.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Donahue?
yes.
Ms. Greenfield?
Yes.
Mr. Hammond?
Yes,
Mr. Schmidt?
Yes.
Ms. Zamara?
Yes.
Okay, 6C is a winter farmer's market. Doug and Ed English and Malcolm and I went into the train station to, one of the things they've been talking about is trying to extend it. At one point, they were looking for a facility. We're gonna try St. Bernard's Parish House. And then when we heard about the fact that the tenant would be out the end of the month, we talked about moving the market into the train station. So we were in there. Yeah, I'm not gonna go there, but it needs work.
You survived.
It needs, yeah, it needs a good cleaning. You know, we gotta get all the stuff off the windows, but, so they were excited about that. I think that it's gonna be a good use of it while we're trying to rewrite the lease, get the bid specs prepared, which will take a couple of months at least, and it would keep the building being used, which would be some of the vendors from the regular farmers market. So they're looking for somebody that wants to run it on Saturday, because I think Ed is a little tired since he does it the whole season. But first thing that Doug needs to do, and said, you know, he wants to check the electric and the plumbing and all the systems to make sure everything is, you know, all the fire conditions and everything. So we'll be doing that in the next couple of weeks. So hopefully by December, we may have a
Yay.
farmer's market on Saturdays in there.
So it's just gonna be Saturdays?
Yeah, it would
At
be the same thing.
times?
Probably 10 to 1 instead of 9.
And what does the person who runs it have to do? Does Ed have a list of?
Well, it's getting people in the right spaces. Some of them pay, you know, that day for their space. So, why, you want the job?
Maybe. You'd
Talk
be
to Ed
great
English.
at it.
So except for Saturday, they run the pawn shop tattoo parlor combo?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah,
I'll help
and the poker game in the back.
Good.
you.
Yeah, so that was with the winter farmers market. So we were hoping to get, until we actually know the status of the electric, and you know, we couldn't even find the switches for some of those lights, and don't know if they're working or just the bulbs are out. And it needs a really good cleaning. The windows. Yeah,
It's electric heat in there?
yeah.
Wow,
One section is basically electric and the other one is.
because that's not really insulated too well in there, as you
No.
can probably felt when you walk in there.
And what we were gonna do is keep them to the left side, the big where the bank used to be, and block off the right, because there's a lot of obstructions and things that.
So you really think it will be ready for December? You know, we could have it before, you know, the Christmas holidays, you think?
Possibly, yeah, because we've got a couple of weeks
Nice
left.
little Christmas market there.
Yeah.
Nice.
So like December 14th or 21st or?
No, it start probably early, just whatever the 6th or the 4th, what is it, 7th?
I think that'd be nice.
Yeah, we're just hoping, you know, it's nothing major as well.
Yeah, if there's nothing wrong, if everything is still working and it's just changing light bulbs and cleaning, we're good. If there's more work required, it'll take us longer, but,
And 10 to 1? Yeah.
yeah, 10 to 1, I believe, is what they were looking at.
We can shoot for the 7th.
Yeah, that would be good. So that'll be our goal, unless some major system is wrong.
Is there
Yeah.
gas service? Gas for one side of the building, and the waiting area, the big waiting area where they want to do the market, that's a small base for feed, unfortunately.
Okay, then we have 6D, the 2020 non-contractual salary ordinance. What do you need us to do with this at this point?
Just that we have done, for the past, I think, 3 or 4 years, introduced the non-contractual salary ordinance prior to the end of the year, in order to, if the council is agreeable to have it done and completed, and thus eliminating a retro day for the following year.
So that you can do purchase order number 1 on January 1, right?
Right. This is for discussion. We discussed this at the finance committee meeting, as you know, Mayor. But it's for the opportunity of the rest of the governing body to weigh in on it. And then with your approval, we'll have an ordinance for you. Anthony, we're going to do that on the 25th.
We intro on the 25th and then public hearing on December 9th.
And there's a 20-day estoppel period with all salary ordinances. So this,
Right.
the timing of this is really dictated by that, so that it's completed by the 31st of December.
And this does not, I mean, we can at any point do something different if we decide to. Like if somebody, you know, gets another title or whatever, you can change. This is
Yes,
not locked
yes,
in stone.
yes,
This
You
is,
can amend it like anybody.
You
Right.
can amend it like any ordinance.
okay,
It's 2%, is that correct, Ralph, or?
Yes,
And it's sort of like a COLA, to me, that's what's.
right, it's a 2%.
yes. And that's been consistent, I guess, for the last
Right.
6 or 7 years.
Okay. Anybody have a problem with any of that? No. Okay, reorganization, we had some dates there you gave us. January 2nd or the 6th, I think, we're not here. That's right. So 2nd or 6th, anybody away or do we care?
I'll be in Australia on the 2nd.
Nice.
Nice.
Do either of you
That's a long
care?
flight, Jeff. I've done it.
Actually, I'm
2nd or
coming back
6th?
on the 6th, so hopefully,
Oh, you really?
I'm gonna go from the airport to here.
Whoa,
I'm gonna be tired.
do you care? I mean, your schedules are fine? Anybody have a preference? When is our next meeting? After that would be the 13th. So the 6th to the 13th is kind of a tight framework, isn't it?
Traditionally, it would be on the 2nd, though, right?
But you're gonna have
Yeah.
to go
We'll make it
from
on the
the
2nd.
19th of December to the 6th
Oh, yeah, that's
of
a long-
January. So you're gonna there's gonna have to be another meeting in there for you somewhere to pay bills.
Not if we pass that
We're gonna
little
pass-
thing, we're
yeah.
gonna put that on the next agenda,
Yeah.
that you can pay bills and have them approved by the next meeting, and just, they go to the finance committee. Yeah,
The 19th of December is a Thursday?
yes,
Okay. That's our last meeting this year?
yes,
Okay.
so the 2nd, I mean, that's a good separation, I think, between the dates. You good with that?
Yep.
Then you don't have to rush here on the 6th. You can enjoy your
I
vacation.
enjoy the swearings in, that's fun, that's nice.
Did anyone have any questions on any of the other dates or noticed any major conflicts? Holiday wise, where are we in December? 21st? That's not too bad. But we can always change them as they come up if there's an issue, so I think we'll go with the 2nd for our reorg.
So January 2nd's a Thursday, is that what you?
Yeah.
That's what you had in mind, okay.
We have to do it within what is it, 7
In the
days?
first 7 days of January.
Right. So you can't do it any later than the 7th. Oh, now we're up to me. Mayor's update, where is it? Okay. October 29th, we had a meeting with and Diane was there with about the holiday events. We tried to get all the people together, the chamber, the chief, the downtown Bernardsville group to coordinate the tree lighting, the parade, and those different things. And so it worked. The tree lighting will be on the 7th. The cookie crawl and holiday parade will be on the 14th. So the cookie crawl will be during the day. The parade will be after that. I forget when it was at night.
Starting at 5 o'clock,
Yeah.
I think, is what they said.
So you'll get more information on that, but it was great to have everybody sit down and work out these things together. So that was the chief's suggestion, and I think it was worthwhile to do that. We are having the Mayor's Wellness Campaign Committee. We will be sponsoring a winter wellness crawl on February 9th, which will be starting in the community room at the library with some different tables of different vendors and sign up and registration, and then people can go to, I think right now we've got 5 different facilities, so you can take a sample class at different facilities, and then we'll have 12:30 there'll be prizes and giveaways, and so we're working on that. You'll see more information on that. I already talked about the train station. Yesterday we had the banner dedication, which was for the veterans banners, which was, I think, just a wonderful ceremony. It was a gorgeous day. We really lucked out to be standing outside, but must have had a good 40 people, you think?
There's a lot.
It was nice, it was nice.
So thank you to Ralph and Jeff and everybody and especially Chris for donating to the fund.
Can I just give a shout out to the Bernards Inn, not to be too commercial, but I thought it was a real nice gesture. They invited them all over for lunch afterwards.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so nice.
Wow, I didn't know that. That was very nice. Yeah. Tonight, I was just at the freeholders meeting at 5 o'clock, and we got another ceremonial check.
Yahoo!
This one is for the Somerset Hills Youth Services Commission, which does, and it's for $5,000. Actually, I thought it was supposed to be more, but I don't know. now that
I
I'm
have a
looking at it.
Sharpie, you wanna put a one?
Can I put a 1 in front of it? But that covers a lot of the activities they do are, the intergenerational social, where the high school seniors and the local senior citizens get together and they have dancing and dinner. They do a youth summit for the 8th graders in Bedminster and here that get together with the high school peer leaders. And then there's a Be Well Girls program that is for, I think it's 3rd to 6th grade girls that are at risk, to help build their confidence and physical skills and make them feel good, because that's a tough age for girls. They kind of lose their self-confidence then. So that's what we do with that. So I don't know who I give this to, but I'll get it to them. What's next?
Gotta put it in the oversized mailbox.
Yeah, I want to find a real, an oversized ATM,
Yeah,
try and
yeah.
cash it. The grand opening for the Bernardsville Center is this weekend. Oh, it's actually Friday and Saturday. We'll be doing the ribbon cutting at 10 a.m. on Saturday, and they've got a lot of good stuff going on there. I think the Thai restaurant is having some really good pricing, and they're gonna have bouncy things, so it should be fun. So make sure you stop there. I told you we got 3 proposals for the RFP for the comprehensive recreation plan. One from Green Play in is it Louisville? Colorado. Louisville, Colorado? I don't think in Colorado they say Louisville.
No, I don't think so.
Anyway, that one was for $79,999. The company that did the presentation, Branstetter Carroll, they're in Ohio, Kentucky, and Dallas. Theirs was for $79,000. And Suburban Consulting Engineers in Flanders, Wall, and Alpharetta, Georgia. Theirs was $69,875.
69 or 59?
$69,875. So they're Anthony has copies of the proposals if you want to look at any of them. I did give them to Recreation and they are reviewing it tonight. I asked them to review and give us a recommendation. But I think, the Suburban one was a good price and they're local. They're in Flanders. So we'll see if that's the one.
I thought they said Flanders, Georgia.
No, it was Alpharetta, Georgia.
Oh.
And Flanders and Wall, New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
So, it's great that we have 3 to pick from. So hopefully we can make a decision on that maybe next month. So that was my report.
So if we did that, we went with the Flanders one. The Ohio group was the one who was looking at the pool, is that correct?
I think, I haven't read them all, but I think I wrote in the RFP, it included all our facilities.
Okay.
Those in the Dropbox, or those, do I have to come to Borough?
No, they're
and look at
huge.
them?
Anthony,
They're like,
can you send?
Okay.
Can you send? Me?
yeah,
Yes, I can
they're
give them
they're
to
giant.
If you want.
Oh, like a 3-ring binder kind of thing?
Couple of them are
A
really
couple
big.
of them are pretty big. I don't have them electronically. I can ask them for them electronically.
Is there an executive summary?
But I can get hard copies to you.
Yeah, but just wanna make sure apples to apples and, there's referencing
Yeah, well, that's
and all
why I
that kind of
figured I'd
stuff.
let Recreation do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's
The
their thing.
group that made a presentation about the pool, was that the Ohio group then?
No, that was,
That was the Flanders group.
Branstetter, right?
well, they're Ohio, Kentucky, and Dallas, yeah, Branstetter Carroll.
Right.
Now, which, they were the 79,000 group?
Yes,
Okay, all right, because I was just impressed by their market research methodology. I want to make sure that the other groups.
well, and I based the RFP on the proposal they originally gave us, and I got an RFP from Randolph they did Randolph's, so I based our RFP on Randolph's model, but then customized it to
So
our
is this
stuff.
decision based solely on the lowest bid, or is this decision?
No, an
being
RFP,
made-
it doesn't have to be the lowest, it's what most meets our needs.
So this will be made by the council or by the rec committee, as the
Uh,
rec committee advises the council?
Yes, we will make the ultimate
In
decision,
that
but
case,
I'd like,
it's the lowest confidence bid.
yes.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna switch my studio.
Okay, so now we are up to correspondence. I don't think we had any. We did have unfinished business.
For the check.
If you recall, last meeting, Chris generously offered to donate $2,500 to the Veterans Banners Fund, so that any veteran who can't afford a banner can have a banner. And that way we'll always have enough money in the fund to sponsor people if they need to be sponsored. And so we need to formally accept that by a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Wow, I'm ready at once. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Chris.
Thank you, that is very
Chris.
generous,
You're welcome.
yes. And I told Chris I did thank him publicly at the event yesterday, so I think that was really a nice thing to do. New business, anybody?
I just wanted to ask about the census. What is being done, I guess, on a local level, or should we think about what we should do on a local level for the census? Like have a key contact person or like a small advisory committee for that?
It's
Which
actually
would be temporary, obviously, until the census is over.
It's supposed to be handled on the county level. If you remember, I can't pronounce her name, Tahira.
Right, Tahiri or something.
Came and did a presentation for us, and basically what they asked us to do on the local level is to let them know when there's any kind of event going on,
Right.
so that they can have a presence or get us materials, because most of it will come from the county. I mean, they will do all the mailings to people, they will be hiring people to go
Yes.
around in neighborhoods and knock on doors, but if there's something like, letting them know that we have an ESL class so that maybe they can go and make a presentation there or get materials in Spanish available in the library for them.
Right.
That, I mean, they're the resource for us. We don't need to be doing our own stuff. And I'm on there, I forget what they call it, whatever the county committee is, and they have those meetings at 8 o'clock in the morning, like once a month. And Terry Thompson also goes. I think she's there for the League of Women Voters.
Okay.
So I think that's enough, unless anybody wants to do more. But I think it's important that we think about what's going on in town and make sure we let them know. So things like the cookie crawl or those kinds of things. And we also have Small Business Saturday coming up. I think that's the 7th?
The 30th.
Saturday, is that the 7th? No, it's
November
the
30th.
November 30th, the Small Business Saturday, and downtown Bernardsville will have a little tent over by Mills and Fenwick there. So we could have information in that.
Yeah.
We could ask them for things to put out there.
The only other new business I had was, I'm gonna meet with, someone from RideWise regarding, complete streets. There's a new resolution that is, new and improved resolution that, towns can adopt relating to making sure that streets are designed going forward. Anytime a street is being improved or designed, that we're doing our best to ensure that the street is accessible to everyone, not just automobiles. So I'll be meeting with her on the 16th. We met at another function. It was like a complete street seminar that was free to elected officials.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm glad you went.
It was very awesome, and so I'll be meeting with her in December.
Good.
About that.
Yeah, I think the goal is to make them more pedestrian and bicycle friendly and make sure there's enough room on the sides, and so that's,
She offered her
is that the one over in
expertise
Chester?
for free.
Did you go to Chester? Where
No,
was
it was at Rutgers.
Oh, at Rutgers, okay.
Yeah, it was awesome. Doug went.
Yes.
Yeah, Doug went.
Oh, okay. Do you think it was awesome?
He had to leave early, but it was awesome. And the food was awesome too, right there.
Good refreshments, that's what counts. All right, any other new business? Okay, we now have closed session, so someone would like to motion?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, we are now in closed session. We are reopening. We will be reopening. I don't know how long it will be, but do we have a sense?
Just for a resolution.
A resolution, okay, so.
Oh, and take a bumper sticker that was given to us by the vet.
And take
And a cookie.
And a cookie, take a cookie. God, I got no audience. What are you gonna do with all those cookies?
You mentioned Terry Thompson.
Yes.
Very fun fact about her.
Okay.
Okay, so we are now back in public session. We need a resolution, or, yeah,
A resolution, it'll be 19-225.
okay. So who would like to move resolution 19225, and I guess that's, what do we call it, ratifying the,
I'll move.
agreement with the
For Public
Public Works?
For public or the, and sewer. Yeah.
Okay, I got a motion. Have a second?
A second.
Okay. I guess we need a roll call for that.
Mr. Donahue?
Yes.
Ms. Greenfield?
Yes.
Mr. Hammond?
Yeah.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Amara?
Yes.
All right.
I just have one more quick thing. We know the council approved the ordinance for the property maintenance. And
Yes.
we did that property up on Mount Harmony, and we contacted the bank, telling them we were gonna place the lien on the property, and they called and said they wanna send us a check. before we approve it.
Excellent. Okay,
So,
good.
So it's working.
That was the test case.
That was
yeah.
the test case.
It's a success.
Excellent.
Any surprises there?
I'm sorry?
Any surprises there?
No,
Would it cost
Good.
someone?
they don't
more?
want the lien, so.
Yeah,
There you go.
it's always about money,
Is that
right?
public something you can speak to on Thursday?
Yes.
What was that?
Oh, we have a housing committee,
Oh,
they can say that in the housing committee meeting.
Okay.
Okay?
I just want to, unrelated, who's going down to the League of Municipalities
You, me,
meeting?
and Christine.
Okay, because maybe we just want to make sure we divide and conquer and cover as many of those workshops as we can.
Well, we're getting an award, actually.
Yes. Are you going to that luncheon for the
I have to
Sustainable
sign
Jersey?
up for that. Yeah,
Because we talked about Ed going. I don't know if Ed was gonna go or not.
Sounded like he was gonna go.
I
Yeah.
think we can all go. We're getting an award. I mean,
Yeah,
we should go.
that's on Tuesday at 12
Yeah.
at the,
Next week, the 19th.
19.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Could we make a motion to
Adjourn.
adjourn? Where's?
Well,
You can make a
oh,
motion.
I make a motion to adjourn.
go for it. Okay. You have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.